Ok. Chicas, estamos aquí con nada más y nada menos Michael, Tracy. I'm so happy that you want to speak with me and can I make you these questions?
Yes, they're very good questions. Many people's businesses bet completely on them. Like, what's the mindset needed to build a business that works without you? I think I hear this all the time. It's delegation. If you're not building systems and procedures, then you cannot delegate. So most people get stuck on like the to-do list, which is your action item list. It's like, what are the things I have to do today? But if you have like a good big win, if you make a big sale, if you do something, then you can write down exactly what you did and create a checklist, like a procedural list.
Wow.
And then if you can go and follow your procedure and you get the same result, then you can delegate that to somebody else, somewhere else to do it for you. And you can do that over and over and over again until you're no longer needed. There's something called the 4 Ds, right? And the first D is to develop people, right? Help them develop the skills they need to do the job, right? And then the next D is delegate. So delegate them more and more of what you're doing to offload it off your shoulders. And then the third D is to duplicate yourself, or duplicate your efforts. And then the fourth D, and this is what most business owners and entrepreneurs never get to, is to disappear.
Wow.
Which is kind of like the unicorn in business. You usually have to stick around and at least get reports and keep people accountable. But if you follow the 4 Ds, develop, delegate, duplicate, and disappear, then you can make some traction. So what's the difference between people who try to sell and those who actually build a solid and sustainable business? Well, unfortunately, some people just want to hype up business, get a bunch of customers, show really high growth, and then sell it for a bunch of money. And that, unfortunately, works in several different industries because people love to buy growth, they love to buy existing install bases and then fold them into their existing business. It's basically acquiring growth because they can't figure out how to do it themselves. And so that's not necessarily a bad business model, and some people aren't even capable of running a big company. Once it hits 50 million in revenue or 100 million in revenue per year, they're not even equipped to deal with that sort of process, procedure, regulation, compliance, and so they need to offload it and sell it. However, if you are passionate about something and you want to build a sustainable business, don't do it with investor money if you can avoid it at all costs. So do it with your own profits, reinvest them back into the company, grow sustainably, grow it big, and then you'll have a cash flow machine that will take you into the future. And if you do want to sell it, it's a self-sustainable enterprise. And if you follow the 4 Ds, then you can sell it for a bunch of money, and the person who's buying it doesn't even have to worry about managing it. They'll just get a cash flow business asset.
Super. And the last one, how the import is the mindset in the business?
It's everything.
Wow.
Because it's failure, and if you take failure as failure and not as a learning opportunity, then you'll be demoralized and you'll quit. So if you look at founders, and I've worked with really successful entrepreneurs, CEOs, and investors, and the one piece of advice that I always hear is, Michael, the investors don't invest in the business, they invest in the person. So it's like they don't invest in the horse, they invest in the jockey, because the person driving the business needs to be able to pivot, change, adapt, pivot, change, adapt, pivot, change, adapt, over and over and over again, iteration after iteration after iteration, until they can build a sustainable business, because the market's moving really fast. And so they have to be able to keep on the bleeding edge of what the market's doing. And if you're not willing to fail forward, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, then you'll never build a cutting edge business in any market.
Super. And can I make one more? ¿Cómo se llama consejo? Which advice you want to let for the woman that have a business, because for them it's very hard to have a big business because they have a lot of emotion, mindset. It's
so whether it doesn't really matter whether you're a female or a male in business. It's just like sales, right? You get to pick what you're selling. You don't have to go and find a job selling something. You find a product or a service that you really love, and then you just go and find that business owner and demonstrate that passion, and you'll get that sales position because you can only sell things you truly believe in. And so for a female business owner, I would just say pick something that you truly believe in, that you know will help people like you, and go find customers that need your help. So don't try to follow the pack. Don't try to fit a mold. Try to identify a need that no one's addressing, and then address that need in a way that keeps your competitors at bay. So they don't enter your market and start taking your market share.
Wow. Okay, thank you very much for everything.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you.